Hi there, and welcome back to Amethyst Tree Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for the new moon eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. This doesn't necessarily mean that the zodiac sign has to be for Sagittarius. This more is talking to what sign the moon is currently sitting in as it's transitioning into a new moon at this time. I actually started another video before, and then for some reason a phone call cut it out, so obviously the messages that were starting to come through as part of that reading were not correct, and got wiped and I had to start again. But anyway, I won't ramble too much. The format of this reading will be that a tarot card will get pulled, so using the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, and then 3 different oracle cards per message. So be using the Moonology oracle, the Whispers of Love oracle, and then the Spirit Animal oracle as well. Since we're restarting, I might just jump straight back into it. Angels and Spirit Guides, what messages do you have for the collective during this new moon eclipse in Sagittarius? This can be for all signs. Alrighty, so starting off the reading tonight is the Temperance in the reverse card. So in the upright, the Temperance card usually represents balance, stability, kind of taking an even and balanced approach to a situation. But in the reverse, it feels like things haven't been or are about to be not very balanced for a lot of people. We are moving into the holiday season and the age of Aquarius with the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. It feels like a purge, as rough as that might sound. So probably this will be something you will be thankful for, but it feels like if things aren't already sort of taking a bit of shift or a turn and moving things out of balance for you, storms are coming. It's it's very weird. It's very intense. Like, it sort of feels like drain, like your eyes are straining, like you really don't want to say you're going to struggle, but it sort of feels like you might, like, yeah, bit emotional, like feeling a little bit teary. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but not really getting a lot from that, so might jump over to the Moonology deck and let's clarify some of this temperance in reverse energy. What do we need to be mindful of? And sort of like why are people going to be feeling unbalanced, you know, or a little bit emotional? Yeah, what is this energy? Because it's weird. So we have a look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, this has come out a lot actually. This is a very common theme in the readings that have been coming out lately. This feels like the advice or the attitude or the approach to take to this, because whatever it is going to suck. But ultimately it's like people are being pushed off or onto, or both, I guess, onto different paths that will ultimately serve you, and you know, ultimately you'll be able to reflect upon and go, oh, I'm really glad that happened, because if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't have had this, or I wouldn't have seen that, or I wouldn't have met this person, or I wouldn't have gone this place, or I wouldn't have done whatever. But this is change energy. This is big picture change energy. This is, gonna rock you a little bit. It's gonna rock all of us a little bit by the feel of it, like, you know, and that's sort of where keeping the bigger picture in mind, or sort of thinking about your life over the long term rather than the short term, is probably really going to help you at this time. Ask our angels to clarify this unbalanced big picture energy. You know, these Whisper of Love cards, this could be, you know, doesn't have to be, but it could be for a romantic situation. This could be, you know, just someone that you really care about or really love, you know, your friends, your family, you know, people you work with, all your work, your job, your career, a hobby, your passion, you know, love. You know, love is all around. It doesn't have to apply to any one situation. You know, this could be, you know, how to look at something from a more loving perspective. Maybe not, because the card that has come out is true love. This love is once in a lifetime. This is actually probably the most beautiful card in the deck, in my opinion. You know, this is very, very strongly, you know, if you've been questioning about a love situation, or, you know, karmic, soulmate, twin flame, bond, whatever, that's what this is. Oh Lord. Again, it doesn't have to be. Take the energies as they resonate and apply the messages to the situation that are most relevant and valuable for you. But yeah, no wonder no wonder you're feeling so out of sorts, out of balance. Twin flame energy is not for the faint of heart. Twin flame energy is honestly like, it's like the duality of some of the most like beautiful, romantic, you know, loving sort of energy, combined with just the most stressful, traumatic, like spiritually awakening, eye-opening, like, yeah, holy shit, what the hell is happening to me? Like, it's not pretty, but ultimately for those on this path, like, you know this is all working in your favor and for your highest good, and this is what is supposed to be happening. But yeah, it's very explosive. The little wand and the fireworks down here, like, fireworks are beautiful unless they're blowing up in your face, right? Like, then it's not so beautiful. That's sort of what twin flame energy is like. So yeah, that makes sense, you know. And if this isn't twin flame, like, if this is another energy, like, again, work, study, career, life, passion, hobby, family, friends, children, whatever this is, the sort of overarching energy of this really speaks to things being shaken up and sort of shifted out of balance, but for good reason. Like, things need to change. Alright, we'll see what our animal spirits have to say about all of that. That is, yeah, well. It's very intense. So even if at the time, you know, if this is something that you've just been through or have recently started going through or are about to go through, you know, or you know someone going through this type of situation, yeah, ultimately it'll be for your highest good or for their highest good, but it's gonna be pretty it's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty intense. So we have the cow spirit. The miracles are endless. And this is in the protection mode. So you're quite defensive about whatever this is. Yeah, it sort of feels like you're not seeing the bigger picture, or you haven't been looking at the bigger picture because you've been defensive and sort of stuck and unbalanced, you know, thinking about whatever this is. Again, for those where it is a romantic or a twin flame karmic soulmate bond, you've spent so much time focusing on what went wrong or what wasn't working or what didn't work, or the negative feelings, rather than focusing on, you know, the blessings or the miracles that come with this type of connection. are with this type of experience. Like you've spent a lot of energy focusing on the negative, which in of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, because when we focus on negative aspects, like in a way, it feels like you have to be careful because you don't want to continue to recreate the same story, or keep playing the victim and keep manifesting the same old and not learning anything from the experience. But knowing what you don't want, or having a strong understanding of what it is that you're not wanting to create or wanting to manifest, or understanding all the stuff that you don't want to deal with, if you flip that coin, the other side, it shows you, or at least guides you towards having a deeper understanding of what it is that you do want. Like, oh, I don't want this. Okay, well, what's the opposite of this? It sort of feels like the energy on this. It's like, okay, so you know what you don't want. I don't want this. I don't want this. What do you want? What do you want? That's sort of the advice, or the messages, I guess, that are coming through from that. It's to not continuously focus on what you don't want and being stuck in this really unbalanced, sort of unjust, unfair, like, woe is me, sort of victim mentality energy, like, oh, I don't want this, it makes me feel so blah, blah, blah. Look at the bigger picture. What is it that you want? Focus the energy there. It's like, and maybe whatever this situation is about, it's kind of forcing you to think about it from that perspective. Oh, I don't want this. Okay, well, what do you want? Let's pull another tarot and keep this going, because this is a very intense reading. We'll take that one. So we have the star in the reverse coming out as the next tarot card. It's interesting to kind of see between these two, both in the reverse as well, like, this person's pouring, water from one cup into the other. This person is tipping their cups out. But it feels like this is the same river. So if this is, again, romance, relationship, twin flame, whatever energy, which it definitely feels like it is, be interesting to take note of which party you are in this situation, because it feels like for one of you, you've been trying to even things out or balance things out a little bit, maybe just, dipping your toes in the water, taking it slow, like not trying to rush into anything. But in the reverse, it's like the opposite. is about to happen. So, yeah, things are not going to be balanced. It's not going to be slow moving. It's going to be quite quick. So maybe someone is coming towards you, wanting to balance things out, and maybe you're not. Maybe you feel like you're not ready. Whether or not you are is, totally up to you at the end of the day. But it certainly feels like, with the energies from earlier on in the reading, like people are being pushed back onto or back off of different paths. And yeah, you're going to be feeling a bit out of balance as that energy comes in. The other person, yeah, it feels like it's like they're emptying their cups out, like cutting things out that are no longer serving them or their highest good. Like, instead of just carrying around these jugs of water aimlessly, it's like, you know what, I'm not just going to give this to anyone. Yeah, it feels very much like a little bit of disappointment, I guess, but certainly a lot of growth. Like, that didn't work, back to the drawing board. So they could be ending certain karmic cycles in their life. They could be, getting new jobs, or they could be moving new cities, or they could be ending relationships, or yeah, it feels like a card of endings and beginnings, like out with the old, in with the new, like, emptying that cup so that they have space for newer energies to come in. That's what resonates the most strongly there. Go back to the Moonology and see what our angels and spirit guides want us to know in more detail about that situation. Definitely a time for deep reflection and very intentional manifestation, especially if you are in this kind of energetic cycle with someone. Like, you have to look at the bigger picture. What do you want? Is this what you want? If that is, fantastic, then do with that as you will. But if it's not, then what needs to change? What needs to happen differently? How do you need to grow? Yeah, this is the time to focus on self, not everyone else. It's what do you want? So, with the full moon, surrender to the divine. Yeah, this is, the opposite of what we're actually experiencing. We're about to experience a new moon, but the full moon is like, known as the harvest moon, I guess, like when you kind of reap the benefits of whatever it is that you've been manifesting, or the intentions that you have set, when those come to fruition. So maybe this is, again, in line with the new moon eclipse energy and just new moon energy in general, like, be very intentional and purposeful about what you want, because it'll probably happen at the next full moon, which will only be a few weeks away, right? So whatever changes you want or have been trying to manifest, be it a love situation, or not. You know, look at the bigger picture. Look at the picture. 2 full moon cards. What do you want? Be very sure about it. Again, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the negative aspects of your life, or are you focusing on the positive aspects of your life? Are you focusing on everyone else? Are you focusing on yourself? What is it that you want out of life, this situation, whatever it is? Because yeah, this feels as though it's coming like now. Like whatever you are thinking about now is going to manifest in your experience very quickly. What do our love angels have to say about all of that? How can you look at this situation in a more gentle, loving way? How can you be kinder to yourself? How can you call back energy that belongs to you? How can you balance this situation out so that you're not so resistant to or so afraid of change? You know, surrender to the divine. You know, this isn't a time to plan and control everyone else. Yeah, this isn't a time for action. This is a time for reflection and manifestation. You know, you don't have to do anything. It'll come to you, and fast. Almost too fast. Like, how is this even possible fast? That's enough shuffling. So we then have the spiritual connection. Our relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So yeah, sorry, General Collective. This is a twin flame reading. If this was not abundantly clear before starting the reading, like that just really hit. Really hit. Yeah, you two are meant to meet. You know, you two, you know, be it twin flame, karmic, soulmate, mirror soul, both of these cards came out. Both of them, not just one. Like even just one of them coming out is pretty intense, but both. Yeah, there's a lot of healing, a lot of trauma and learning and just growth and spiritual maturity that's meant to be activated by this connection. So if you haven't already met this person, you're probably going to quite quickly, especially if you capitalize, you know, on the energies of the full moon. If, you know, love and romance and relationships is something that you have been looking to manifest into your current life experience, like now is the time to do it. And if you have already met this person, and particularly if you're familiar with the you know, twin flame connection, twin flame bond, all that kind of stuff, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, like, you know, I don't want to give people false hope or false expectations, but at the same time, you know, just reading it how it comes across. If you haven't already, you're about to meet your twin flame, and that's what's gonna tip things out of balance big time. Alrighty, we might pull one last spirit animal card. You know, depending where everyone is along their spiritual journey or their twin flame soulmate, karmic, mirror soul journey, transition, whatever. It'll be very different. Like, if you haven't met them yet, welcome to Jumanji. Because, wow, you are in for a treat. And if you have just started this journey, or even if you've been on this journey for, days, weeks, months, years, decades, lifetimes, probably, it never gets easier. Well, never say never, right? But it's always very intense. And it's supposed to be, again, that look at the bigger picture card, like, it's supposed to be, like, it's beautiful, it's romantic, it's loving, it's this, it's that, it's blah, blah, blah. And it is also, hell, it is duality, polarity at its finest. It is simultaneously heaven and hell on earth. That's what being a twin flame is all about. But again, it all serves a much higher purpose. Yeah. So we have the pig spirit in the reverse of the protection mode. Use your mind wisely. This feels a little ominous. This is like a warning card, almost, like, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it, is the expression that comes to mind. So, if you've been on this journey for a while and you're at a point where you're like, no, I cannot take this anymore, I cannot deal, I just don't want to do this, I don't want to blah, 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 like, can't deal, too much, cut it off, send me back, thank you very much, maybe next life. Be careful with that, because you'll manifest it very quickly. Again, don't want to get people's hopes up, and at the end of the day, we all have free will and we get to decide what we want to do with our lives. That's the beauty of, a spiritual awakening, or these types of twin flame, soulmate, karmic sort of experiences. Like, they wake you up to different dimensions and versions of reality that previous human conditioning made you feel were just not possible. But it's also like, oh, cool, like, I can manifest things with my mind. That's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. So use your mind wisely, because whatever you will think, especially right now, you will create. So just to kind of do a bit of a recap before closing off, if you haven't already, you're about to come into some, very unbalanced energy, and it's gonna throw you around, it's gonna rock you a little bit, it's gonna, flip your whole concept of reality on its head, and it'll be quite shocking. Quite shocking. It'll you'll notice. You will notice. But the advice in this full moon in Sagittarius card here is to look at the bigger picture, like, recognize this is all for a higher purpose, a divine purpose. There's a reason. Whatever is coming up, whatever is happening around you, to you, for you, to others, like, it serves a purpose, even if you don't see it at the time. Because, this turned into a twin flame reading, but this is true love. This love is once in a lifetime. Once in this lifetime, at least, anyway. Like, you've met this person before, for sure. Time to get it right. Careful what you're focusing on. The miracles are endless. So why are you focusing so much on the negative? You know, again, focusing on the negative isn't always bad. It shows you what you do want. But this is where this card is saying you need to shift that energy back. So if you have been spending a lot of time focusing on what it is that you don't want, now is the time to really start focusing on the energies and the manifestations that you want to create and the things that you do want. You know, this could be you, this could be the other person, this could be both of you. You know, this could all, you mirror each other, this could all apply to both of you. But, you know, this person or this energy is making space for this connection. They're tipping out their cups. They're like, no, I tried that. Oh, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. That wasn't working. You know, pouring it back into the river and, you know, going back to the drawing board. That didn't work. I need to try something else. Yeah. You know, making room, making space for this connection. And this is a time as well, you know, this is about stepping really into that sort of gentle, you know, feminine, doesn't have to be female, you know, there's no gender in tarot, but allowing energy, like, because in a lot of ways it feels like whether you want change or not, change is coming, so you can resist it and focus on the negative and block it and, you know, make the next period of your life very stressful and difficult. Or you can shift your energy and focus on love. Look at the bigger picture, you know, the miracles, and manifest some really beautiful things into your life. You know, because at the end of the day, this is a spiritual connection. You were meant to meet this person. You were meant to activate, trigger each other for your spiritual and emotional growth. This is all part of a bigger purpose, a bigger picture. There's a higher reason for this. So just use your mind very wisely. Be very consciously aware of the thoughts that you're thinking and the feelings that you are feeling, because yeah, they're all moving into your life experience very quickly. Alrighty, that was very intense, and got very sort of specific quite quickly. So I do apologise if this wasn't the reading that you were looking for. But as always, I hope that you did find some of the messages from this reading at least, you know, helpful in some way, shape or form. If you'd like to book a personal reading or a private coaching session, please feel free to shoot me a message on my Instagram page, which I will link in the description box below. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give it a like, to leave a comment, let me know what did or didn't resonate, and to subscribe to the channel as well. Alright, please look after yourselves, and I will see you for the next reading. Bye for now.